Oh, wow. What's up, everybody? Oh, this town is just like decked out. Check it out, man. Everybody's all decked out for the game. What time is it? I don't know. It's like, I don't know, sometime after 11 or something like that. And we're just here on Liberty again. Just surrounded by walls, like I always am. So, in this video, believe it or not, I am going to address something that I haven't addressed so far in this series. And, even though they still had Albon paints, oh my god. Anyway, so, what I want to talk about in this video is, believe it or not, there are benefits to being homeless. It's not all so bad. I think throughout this whole series I've been focusing on a lot of negative stuff. So I'm going to try and tell you in this video what's positive about being homeless. Well, for one thing, I know this is going to sound silly, but it's really true because it's what got you homeless in the first place. You couldn't afford the place you were living in, so you don't have to worry about paying rent anymore. That's a big burden off you. I mean, there is no incentive for that, but you couldn't afford it anyway, so that's why you're out in the street now. So you don't have nearly as many bills as you used to because you can't afford to pay it anyway. So that's just something you don't have to worry about no more. What you have to concentrate on now is trying to rebuild your life and get a job and get a place to live and whatever it is that you think you're going to do to have your life, come back the way you want it to. I don't understand why people think that when they find themselves in a situation like this, that it's completely hopeless and they're going to stay this way for the rest of their lives. Because initially, what ends up happening is that's what people end up doing. They think that this is a permanent situation. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. Unless, of course, you are a person who is a severe, drug addict or alcoholic, or you have serious mental issues, then maybe that's certainly the case for a lot of people, but there's always a way out of your situation. I've been on these streets now for over 20 days, and I've learned a lot. When I wrap up this series, I'm going to talk to you about a lot of things. And this is, without a doubt, the most positive and negative experience I think I've ever had in my life. It has grown me in ways and matured me in ways that I just would never have imagined. And had I not had this experience, I certainly wouldn't hold the views that I do now. Because let me tell you, man, when I certainly appreciate the little things in life. I'm going to keep turning the camera away from me and just showing you stuff, so you're going to have to deal with it. Anyways, so I like giving you guys tours, And, I'm going to interject here for a moment. I don't mean to get off the subject, but a couple of Beaver County folks have asked me, is the Beaver County Ghosts and Paranormal website still in full operation? Yes, it is. I will leave a link to it below this video. The Homeless in Pittsburgh YouTube series has taken all my time. I haven't had time to write or put up anything new in terms of stories or anything that has to deal with Beaver County and paranormal related stuff. If you have a story, there is a contact page on the website. Paste your story, click it in there, and just send it to me, and I'll get it and I'll post it. Okay? I'm always taking stories from people, so yes, it's still in operation. This series has taken all my time. I haven't written anything. I haven't even sent out query letters to try to get my book published because of this series. So after this ends, I've got a lot of work to do in terms of my other careers, because I'm also a writer. So I'm trying to get things done in that area. Yes, the Beaver County haunted website is still in operation. It's beavercountyghosts.org, but I'll leave a link down below and you can check it out. For those of you who are not from Beaver County, a lot of my Pittsburgh people are watching this. I'm sorry I won't put any Pittsburgh ghost stories, and I know Pittsburgh is the city is full of awesome ghost stories, but this is just for where I grew up and where I was raised. But if you have a story, you local folks, yes, I will post it. Just give me a few days, but the rest of my stuff you can see on markgrago.com. I haven't written anything new though. I haven't written anything since I've been up here. I just haven't had the time. Look at this. I want to show you guys something. All these sewers in Pittsburgh, look at this. It looks like the place is being bombed. You should have seen it this morning. You always see all the steam coming up from the ground. Look at that. Look at it. Look, 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 look. This is crazy. It's been going on all morning. So anyway, getting back to my little subject here. You can find peace of mind when you're homeless. Again, it all depends on how you process things. If you're going to sit there and feel sorry for yourself all the time, and you're going to make yourself scared and uncertain, you will never get out of this situation, and you will never move from where you're at, and you're always going to be at the bottom end of things. If you try to seek some help and you try to get people to help you, friends and even distant relatives, or if you have some family left, the majority of the people that I have discovered in these streets don't have any family. It's just a fact. And it's just one of those things where it's tragic. Most of these people don't have anybody to look out for them. Like I said, I am going to make a video about that. I've learned so much from being out on these streets, and I'm going to share all that with you. But like anything else in life here, it's really what you make of it to get out of here. There are actually a lot of ways to make a couple of bucks, and if you play your cards right, you can save that money, because I have found that you can eat in shelters. You don't even have to spend money on food. There's people donating food to churches and charities all the time. People who are homeless in Pittsburgh don't have to, they don't have to go hungry. They don't. There's always a place to eat. There's always churches. The problem is, of course, that nobody wants to stay in shelters. I made a video about that. People keep asking me about these things. It's so controversial and it's so opinionated. I can tell you this, and then maybe a year from now, or maybe a month, somebody else is going to make a video about a homeless shelter, and they're going to give you an entirely different scenario than what I gave you. That's fine, but I'm always speaking from my perspective here. So everybody's going to have a different opinion about it. But these streets are what you make them. Your situation is what you make it. One of the great things about being homeless in Pittsburgh, believe it or not, is the food. Guys, I'm not kidding you. Even if you just have a couple of bucks, you can just eat. You can eat in so many good places in the city, man. You can go to Permane Brothers or PPG. You can get a big steak sandwich and fries for just 10 bucks. You don't have to spend a lot of money. There's a beautiful Middle Eastern restaurant on 4th Avenue that serves all kind of rice and gyro dishes. It's so good. There's a lot of pizza places around here that are relatively cheap. You can get big slices of pizza, for just a couple of bucks. What I really have found out about this city is it's not nearly as expensive as I thought it would be. Out of all the cities in the United States, Pittsburgh is actually one of those cities that's the cost of living is really not that bad. If I were homeless in New York, I might have a huge problem, because the cost of living is just outrageous in places like Chicago, LA. I don't know how people do it out there. I'm not going to make documentaries about that. This is my last one for homelessness, but you might want to type in on YouTube, what it's like to be homeless in those cities and what people do. But I have found that it's really not that bad to get decent food in this city. It's not. I have been treated very well by people. And I won't mention specific businesses or anything, but there are a lot of generous people in this city that do help homeless people with food and stuff. So again, it all goes back to how you make your situation. You can make it or break it. It's not the end of the world because you're homeless. What has a tendency to get people down is the sleeping arrangements. The hardest thing about being homeless is sleeping. I actually